Hey, it's Labor Day weekend, and this is just kind of an update episode of a writer's journey. So why don't you just come along with me and we'll talk a little bit. So I'm back to work full-time as a chef at the sorority, and I really haven't done a lot of writing. This weekend, though, I've put in about 5,000 words, which is pretty good. The story's moving along really well. I'm writing the third book in the Serena Darkwood series, which is called Capital. And it's probably going to be about, I don't know, about 90,000 words, 100,000 words, something like that. I'm going to read a little bit from the first chapter for you. Like I said, the book is called Capital, the third book in the series, and this is from chapter 1. When the Capitol Guard descended on Brokeridune, it sent shockwaves of panic through the mining colony. Sirens wailed, vessels scrambled from their moorings, and the dusty corridors of the asteroid outpost buzzed with fear. No one came to Radune because they wanted to. It was a haven for the unwanted, a last refuge tucked deep within the Galvaron cluster, far from the eyes of the core worlds. The colony's population was a monastic of misfits and fugitives, life forms from more than 20 star systems who had fled here to escape judgment, laws, and imprisonment. On Radune, you could vanish into the haze of ore dust, never to be found again. Its neutrality and absence of formal law enforcement made it a sanctuary for outlaws of every breed: thieves, bandits, pirates, smugglers, and worse. Serena Darkwood fit in all those categories, and then some. Misfit, rogue, smuggler, survivor, she was a law unto herself, guided by a moral compass that pointed nowhere anyone else could see. She hadn't just passed through Brokeridune, she'd been forged by this place. This dusty, lawless rock was where she learned to cheat at cards without flinching, pilot a spacecraft through meteor storms, and count the cost of every decision she made, costs that often came measured in blood and smoke, and ended at the barrel of a gun. Sometimes Serena Darkwood swore the galaxy had it in for her, but then again, that was just her lot in life. Trouble clung to her like stardust in ship's vents, and if it ever let go, she wasn't sure what she'd do with herself. Boredom, after all, was a luxury, and she doubted she'd ever have the misfortune of knowing. So that's the first page in this novel. If you don't know anything about Serena Darkwood, I tell people when I'm pitching the book at shows that Serena's a female version of Han Solo. It's if you're into Star Wars and that kind of galaxy-hopping stories. She's got a sidekick. His name is Revo, and he's actually on the cover of the second book. The second book is Eclipse. And I don't know if you can see him on there because it's got the strip across it. That's Revo. That's Serena. And this is a great cover by Jeffrey Hayes. I haven't done much of anything else besides write. Oh, I did pick up some pulps. My friend Jerry picked them up when he was visiting family out of state. And there's an exciting Western. And this one is Range Riders Western. And they're like $5 a piece, and he picked those up for me, and I really appreciate that. I'm currently reading Fire in the Tall Grass. I just started this just right before I started recording this episode, so I'll probably have it done tonight before I go to sleep. It's written by L.S. Guzic. He wrote for me in The Lost Adventures of Captain Hawkland Volume 3, and I've read his work before. And this one's already starting out strong, and I look forward to finishing it. These kind of fast-paced, fast-paced books, they just ripple with action, adventure, some great dialogue. And that's what I've been working on in my book, too, is kind of picking up my dialogue a little bit more, making it more pronounced and hard-hitting. And dialogue just doesn't come from what the character says or how they interact. A lot of it comes from their emotions, their actions and emotions within that scene create some tight dialogue, and I've been doing that in the new Serena Darkwood book, trying to really drive it forward. So I've been working on strengthening the dialogue, which I think the dialogue for me as a writer is the most important, and the aspects of everything that goes along with it, the mood, where they're at, the tension, does the characters like one another? Are they friends out of circumstance, or are they lifelong friends that can also have conflict? Some past transgressions that come to surface while you're writing your characters. And that's always been fascinating for me. When I first started writing dialogue years ago, I did what Gene Roddenberry did when he first started writing for television. And I turned my back to the television and listened to dialogue from the characters that I was watching. And I didn't watch just science fiction. I watched some drama, Dallas, Falcon Crest, Knots Landing. Those nighttime soap operas from back in the 80s had some great dialogue. And I learned a lot of dialogue beats from listening to television shows. Gene Roddenberry did that when he was trying to learn pacing to write scripts for television. And, he originally started writing for TV series like Have Gun Will Travel. And when he started submitting his scripts to television shows, he would teach himself how the script worked. So I used that same concept for how dialogue works. And I turned my back to the TV, and I did it, like I said, for nighttime soaps, for science fiction, for even daytime soaps. Days of Our Lives back in the 80s had some great dialogue. And I learned a lot from that, and how to write strong characters, strong dialogue. Television was a big influence on me while I was growing up. It's still kind of a big influence on me. I don't watch a lot of newer television today, but I still watch a lot of old stuff, $6 Million Man, that kind of thing. And if you know me, you know we probably are along the same lines of what we watch and what we read. So this episode's going to be kind of short. Like I said, I'm back to work at the sorority, and I'm concentrating on feeding 45 sorority girls. And by the time I get home in the evening, I am really getting tired from a long day. So I don't write during the day or when I get home. I do try to read. I try to clear my mind. I'll listen to an audio book or something, or I'll pick up a physical book and read it. And I got a lot at Pulp Fest last month, so I will definitely be catching up on reading that stuff as the month progresses. I do have a show coming up this coming weekend. It is HurryCon in Hurricane, West Virginia, and the details are right here. If you're seeing this and you're in that area and you want to come to this 2-day event, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm going to be there with my buddy Jerry Lambert, who is an artist, and I think Hinlow Press. They're out of West Virginia, the Huntington area. They're going to be there setting up with their books. So I have that coming up, and then I have some other shows coming up. So this coming weekend, this is actually Monday. We're dropping a day late, usually drop on Sunday. This coming weekend, I'll be traveling, so there'll be no episode of A Writer's Journey this coming weekend. And I'm actually probably going to, for the next couple months, maybe just do every other week for episodes, just because of the time restraints. And then when we get maybe back around to summer again, we'll pick it up every week. So, like I said, this is a short episode, and I'm glad you guys watched. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll answer them in an upcoming episode. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'm going to leave you with your moment of inspiration.
The decisions that your character makes really tells the reader who they are. So when your character says, you know what, I'm setting aside my own personal safety to go into this real dangerous place, to talk to this real dangerous person about something that he does not want to talk about because I want to help this little girl. That tells the reader this is who your character is. You hear over and over again, show, don't tell. And the way that you show people that is you show them in these sequels. You show them who your character is by, sticking them as hard into that character's skin suit as you possibly can. Because that's really what we're all here to do in the books. The more more you can show their sense of character and self through their emotions and through their decisions, the more people are going to open up to that character, because that's how you be vulnerable with another human being. And we're doing it with simulated human beings on a page. As long as you can kind of understand that's how human emotions work. That's how we work as people. We go emotion, reason, review, decision. That's how we navigate life. So if you can show your character doing that, you create that much closer a bond between the reader and your character.